Hi everyone, welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise. Hope you guys are all doing really well. Best we can, right? During these times with everything costing a fortune with food and housing and cars and all of that goodness. Anyway, so this reading I'm going to dive into USA politics, health, economy, foreign relations, anything else I might feel drawn to looking into. You know, sometimes I open a can of worms with one reading into the other. So anyway, try to keep it as short as I can, but it will be for the week of February 13th through 19th, 2022. Okay, hold on. Let me drop the camera down and we'll get started. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Archie McPhee's super awesome future fortune cards because I want to look into what Trump was flushing down the toilet, or documents that or pieces of paper that he might have eaten. Like what? Is the dude trying to get more fiber in his diet that way? Like what the heck, man? But on a more serious note, I want to know, we looked a little bit, or I looked a little bit in my last live stream as far as like documents being, what was in the boxes, the 15 boxes that he took. Yeah, Debbie and I both looked. That's right. The 15 boxes that he took to Mar-a-Lago. But this, I particularly want to see, because those boxes were retrieved and brought back. So that, I think that will all come out in the news as to everything that was in there. And then, you know, we'll get to see if Debbie and I were right. But with this little, I want to use this deck to look and see what was he, like was he really, you know, like we have to double check. Was he really flushing pieces of paper down the toilet? And if so, what was in them? What was, I mean, we're talking anything top secret? Like, what's the deal? Okay. So I'll do, let me do the forces in motion and his challenges. Yeah. And then I think I have enough room to see what he actually did in the past. I'll do 4 cards here, so two columns. And let's see, was he actually flushing documents down the toilet? And, well, and then also, what other documents was he destroying? Because we know, I mean, that happened from day one. I remember in 2017 that coming out, that he was tearing pieces of paper up and, you know, just throwing them down. Like, sometimes in a little trash can, other times he'd just leave them on his desk, and other times he'd throw them on the floor for other people to pick up. Oh my God. And then remember, Hillary's emails, right? Oh. All that, so he knew right away that he's not, you know, he wasn't allowed to do that. So, but let's see, what did he actually do in the past? Yeah, we know he's a pig. Yeah, trying to destroy something. This is the things that come up from the past. So I'm thinking financial documents, connections that way. Yeah, okay, so trying to shatter everything. I mean, this would be tearing something apart, breaking it apart. As to his family and real estate deals. Okay, let's keep going. So here's part of the past. Let's look at what's coming down on him that he doesn't have any control over about this particular situation of his destroying documents in any way that, I mean, I know I already did his February reading, But, and it might be in there, I don't know. I never go back and watch my own videos unless you guys tell me, or you ask me about something and then I have to. Hardly ever. So I rarely remember. But let's see what's coming down currently, or, you know, pretty soon, because of what he's done in the past in regards to presidential documents. So his selfishness will be seen. Yeah, so an abundance of something coming down on him. Okay, and then I'll do 4 cards here for the actual future. His actual future. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, yeah. I can always draw a few more if need be. Well, you know what else I could do is use the Kipper to see if legally, like how this would go legally for him. Okay, let me get these lined up real quick. These cards are so straightforward and simple, this shouldn't take too long right here. And then you guys, we have to always give so many kudos to Hilda, to our dearest Hilda Flores, for all her time stamping. That saves us time. This, if you guys don't like listening to what I have to say, if you don't want my commentary, or if you want to go back and check something out, right? It's the timestamps are invaluable. Okay, so these 2 cards are going to have some power over all of this, okay? So with the Kiss Up card, of course, this is, you know, money changing hands, and it's people, you know, brown-nosing, all the brown-nosers, you know, I mean, shoot, all of them. Mike Pompeo, who else? Everyone in his cabinet, so his Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, and then, of course, you know, who, I mean, were there, does anybody know the exact number of people who he let go of? Like how many, does anyone know how many he let go of and who went in and out? I mean, Scaramucci was the guy that he got 10 days, 10 days with him. So anyway, his challenge, oh, you know what? No, I just tuned into what this is because I heard that song again, that one about, I don't want to do your dirty work no more, that I kept hearing until Pence did what he did to stand up. But this is more. It's that song again. So these are the people who kissed up to him in the past. It's going to shock him as to how they are no longer going to do that because of everything that's being revealed and coming out. So these cards up here tell me that they are going to be, whoever these people that kissed up to him in the past, they're going to be thinking for themselves. They're going to be independently focusing on themselves because, you know, they might want to put some distance, but mostly because everything that's going to continue to be revealed. I mean, I knew last week was going to be a major news dump. I could see that because of the astrological transits. But yeah, and I don't think this next week will be any different. I think more will come out. Yeah, the people are coming out of the woodworks. Okay, yeah, kitties that we thought were just, you know, happily enjoying their, you know, playing around on their perch or playing with each other, they're going to come out and go, no, I've got something to say. And they might talk about money that they were paid or some offer of money or some other form of benefits. Wow. Okay, so what he did in the past, I kind of would have expected to, let me see if there's anything on the bottom. Yeah, no, just illness and infinity. Good. I kind of would have expected the blender card in here, which would show something flushing down the toilet. But the broken mirror is pretty pretty close to, something that's all torn into pieces and shattered. And I was asking what he was trying to hide with his tearing up of all the, documents, which of course is illegal. And what I'm seeing here is that, again, his abundance, his greed, because all of these cards, well, these three cards around this card here, closing in on this card, influence this card. So this card is not positive, that's now negative. And so everything that came, the zombies from the past, the ghosts of the past are going to come up and reveal his greed. And I think he might be really shocked as to who all these people are that are no longer willing to hold on to, his dirty work, right? Or what he did in the past and what maybe they did for him, right? Because the January 6th committee is closing in. So, but anyway, in simple terms, it was all of his real estate, running his family business in the White House, which he was not supposed to be doing. And he did. He did. And that's what all of this is about. It could be anything else that had to do with how he made money and maybe some ways he violated the emoluments clause, all of those things. I think that's what's going to be shattering him. Wow. Oh, goodness. Yeah, and I posted, you guys, if you haven't seen it, in my community section, I posted a little, video that, well, I noticed it on, because I sometimes watch him, but anyway, happened, luckily, to be able to watch him. It was Chris Hayes, All In, the Chris Hayes Show. And he he had an interesting little piece about, he put together clips as to all the times that Trump was talking about flushing the toilet. Like, why do people have to flush the toilet 10 to 15 times? And how, of course, it's just a big old projection of his personality. Well, that's what he doesn't like, looking into the mirror. But and how it's all, it's like his fractured reality as to what he's done in the past, and like the roots and the foundation of who he actually is, which is greedy, zombie-like mentality that just, it's like an energy vampire type of personality. He's I believe, a born psychopath. I don't believe he ever had any empathy. I think he went out one lifetime with none and came back in with none, and this is what he gets. And this card could be indicating his big overblown ego. So, but anyway, let's look at the future, because this is coming down. People are not going to do his dirty work anymore, and they're going to be talking. Things will be revealed about all of these transaction and his transactional nature. So the lilies can be about happiness, and we do have the happiness card here, but this is also, because you know how the lilies in the Lenormand is the same thing here. This is about old age sometimes. And whether or not there's any happiness, same thing with this card, it all depends on the cards around it. So we can see that for him, for a long time, it's all about, his transactional nature. And all of those who wanted to get in on it with him. And then what do we have here? I mean, we literally have the devil. So there's no, in his future, his happiness will go up in flames. And the devil has the keys to his happiness. Well, That's not that's not good, is it? No, I don't think so. And yeah, this might be like him wanting to go back to the way things were in the 50s, that kind of like, I don't know, Leave It to Beaver image is what I'm getting here. But I think it's actually more about a gift that the devil has to give him. And like, I don't know. Who even knows what that could be? More control, more greed, more addictions, more, everything that the devil is about, which is blindness, pessimism, the psychopathology of Donald John Trump is very much like this, right? I mean, he's just paranoid. That's another thing, right? And then most of all, what the devil has to reveal is how much abuse there is, how much abuse is coming his way, where he's going to feel abused, because they're going to be revealing all of his cheating, all the cheating that he did in the past. I don't even know if he'll outlive the movies that are going to follow him. Okay, but anyway, it does look to me like he's guilty of hoarding. He's guilty of hoarding and trying to hide the past, but it's all going to come through. It's all going to come out. So, yeah. Maybe this has to do with actually eating some documents. Who was it? Oh, yeah, they said, you guys told me that it was Omarosa. Whoever was in on the live stream told me. I think it might have been Tina. Hi, Tina. That there was Omarosa who said he used to eat little bits of paper once in a while when he had to hurry and hide something, a note that was delivered to him. Oh, God. Okay, so now let's go to... what I want to read on is no, you know what? Hold on. Let's do this first while I'm here. Let me just look real quick, because I didn't see. Oops! Oh my goodness, my little hearts. Okay, I'm all right. Okay. I didn't look at legally. How will Trump be affected legally, if at all, by his destruction of presidential documents, presidential records? Remember him and his lock her up and all that crap with Hillary over, 30 emails or something like that? Man, I'm still remembering that little guy, what was that guy? He just looked like a slimy little snake with a little bit of white hair on top. He's always sweating, like Trey, was it Trey Gowdy or something like that? Is that his name? I don't know. But anyway, the one that just kept grilling Hillary while she endured an 11-hour hearing over her emails. Actually, that was over Benghazi. That was over Benghazi. That's right. I don't know that she had to endure a whole lot over the emails. I could be wrong about that. Anyway. Let's let go of that. Let me get back into Trump and his legal future only as to the presidential documents. Is he going to pay the price for this? There's his right there in his family and the cheating and the lying. Ooh. Yeah, he's not feeling good about that, and neither anyone else who's been meeting with him or who had met with him. Okay, how's it going to go for him in the future? Yeah, he's having trouble thinking about it, and there he is looking that way. There's all that money. Okay, You know what? I think I'll just do another layer. What I have here is a baseline of, I don't know who this woman was. It doesn't have to be a woman. This could just be a supportive situation that he was in. But we do have this family situation. This would not be Melania. Melania would be the main female. Did he have someone on his staff who was maybe his age or a little bit younger? Or, I mean, could this have been, what's her name with the alternate facts? What's her name? Kelly whatever. Or could it be like, no, it's too old for like Mecha Crazy. Too old for Nikki Haley. If this is a woman. But this could just be all of the supportive people. It's even possible, I don't know if he talks to Ivana anymore, but because of these cards that are surrounding her or this, I really feel like it's family support that, where there's so much deception and lies and scam and fraud and all of that. And into his future, he is really worried about being broke. I don't know that he ever will totally, like he might not live that long, but I've seen this before, this assets being seized. That's the thing that's the only thing that he really worries about. I don't know if he worries so much about going to prison. I think he just worries about losing his money. But something's going to come out about who received some money without having to even work for it. We have these two bookends. So I'm thinking bribes. And he's mulling that over. Like who received funds for him, favors? Who did he try and bribe? And he's down here at the bottom, not having any control over, this is the worst card in the deck as far as a person being, destitute and down on their top, down on the... If Ciro Marchetti hadn't added these extra cards, this would be the absolute worst. But for him, this might be the worst, because this is like not even making ends meet. So I'm feeling the future for him is all types of seizure of his assets. And what's hanging over him is knowing that that's coming. This is worse than the Nine of Swords in the Tarot because it doesn't let up. The Nine of Swords can just be some sleepless nights. Well, with this situation, it keeps going. Hold on, let me see if I can straighten this up a little. No, that made it worse. There, that's better. Okay, so whomever were the people that this is just like meetings and talking. Well, it's meetings, but more one-on-one with different people. So he's worried about who's going to talk about those meetings in the past. And then, of course, with the family room here, it's whomever came right into his, like West Wing. Wow. Yeah, because he's got both of the cards where this one is like an OCD where you just can't, this is paranoia. This one is you are going through it, and all of these cards are touching him. This card's totally neutral. All of these cards are touching him, and these two are hanging over him, and he can't do a darn thing about it. He can just look forward to more of this, like major concern. Wow. And this sudden wealth doesn't have to be money. It could be a wealth of, because looking at the cards that touch it, it can be a wealth of people who he met with, and they They have something to say, you know. Could be a wealth of information. My goodness. Okay, but is it going to bring in any legal? Well, whomever was in partnership with him. Oh, so there's another guy too. So legally, how is this going to affect him legally? Yeah, there's definitely, this is a yes card. The rules and regulations. So now I'm thinking this is someone who will lead the way to be successful in bringing him to justice. Yeah, it's gonna. He's on that journey. They're already there. This might be that they already have everything they need, and they just need to get it into the right vehicle. Yeah. And it's going to have everything to do with his reputation. This is the high honor card. Besides reputation, it can have to do with any tall building, so it could very well, like the other cards were revealing, is that you know, how he was literally running Trump Tower, Trump Org from, and there's Melania, from the White House, and Melania was probably running all her businesses too. Of course she would have. Oh my goodness, and look how it landed right in front of him. Wow, we've got quite a story here. Wow. This just might do it, you guys. And look at this, adjudication and subpoenas, people getting subpoenaed, having to go before a committee or a court. This, you know what, you guys, this may very well be Merrick Garland. And he's going to have to do something about this. Wow. Okay, glad I went ahead and did that. So there can be some effect to Melania as well. And, you know, of course, I would think it would affect, what's her name? Ivanka, right? And the kids, because they all, the kids, the creeps, I should say. Okay, so next, let's look at, I want to check into, let's look at how Biden's going to be doing. I'll just use the regular tarot. So the Radiant Wise Spirit by Lo Scarabeo. And I think they should be all upright. Looks like it. Yeah, okay. So I need to allow for reversals. Okay, so hold on. Let me tune into Biden. I want to see how he's going to be doing this next week. Okay. All right. Okay, give me a moment. Okay. So the force is in motion. Yeah, he's getting tired. It's not going to be easy. His biggest challenge is, you know, juggling all the plates. Yeah, and negotiations as well with this card. Okay, so let's look at. I think I'll just do 7 cards around, and my intention is just to pull in. I'll leave them positionless, you know, but just information as to the week. How's this week gonna go for him? Wow. Okay. Oops, hold on. Let me make some room up here. These cards are a good size. Okay. Well, is that good? Yeah, okay, that's in frame. Bring these down a little bit. Okay, so with the Nine of Wands reversed, of course, this, this is like our Wounded Warrior card, right? But it's endurance, perseverance. The dude has 4 planets in Scorpio. It's challenging that 3 of them are in the 12th house, but then again, the 12th house for me has proven over and over in a natal chart to be one of the major houses of vocation. It's just that it takes quite a while to bring all the gifts through. He's in his elderly years, so of course he's tired. Of course he's been battling. Of course he's exhausted. He might be feeling like there's no fight left in some areas. And he's worried about disasters. He's worried about things going wrong. And it has to do with the level of, just juggling the daily details, trying to keep up with everything. With the Two of Pentacles, he's trying to stay balanced. He's trying to adapt. He's really trying to prioritize things, but it's like an up and down type of a situation. When it comes in a challenge position, you can read it like a reversal, so then that brings in struggling and having trouble, with some things. So, of course, we've got Ukraine going on. He's trying to take self-responsibility, but with this Eight of Cups here, he may very well be having to just walk away from this battle that he can't, he's having to let go of something. Then again, this is another, as many of the eights are, this is a travel card, except for the Eight of Swords, you're not going anywhere, but the Eight of Cups and Eight of Wands are major travel cards. So it could be that there's a lot of travel this way. Well, he travels all the time, so that's just kind of silly to even talk about that, except for, it's coming up here. It might be that besides all the travel, because this is my card of taking self-responsibility, and that's what he does. He tries. He tries. But it's a card of knowing that you've done all you can and you're going to have to just walk away, because to stick in it would be stagnation. And so he's moving forward and he's taking a stand with the Seven of Wands. This is all about he's being determined and persevering, trying to protect us. It's sometimes my card for a spiritual test that comes in. But he's, this is a card of asserting yourself. He's got a stand that he's had to make, and he's holding firm there. Granted, there's 2 different shoes going on here, so it's like you've been pushed to your limits, and he's right on the edge, right? But he's holding firm. The opportunities, the choices are challenging. There are so many choices. But with the Chariot, especially coming through upright, there's success. So Seven of Cups here brings in, he's got these decisions. He has opportunities. He knows he has lots of options, but then as this card is my spiritual test, this is also my card for an emotional test. So he's trying to, again, prioritize and figure out what, this could be Ukraine, where he's like exhausted all of his options, and but he knows that, well, on a physical level, I think this is him just being tired. But with the Seven of Cups up here, I think he realizes that he does have this deep sense of purpose that he's having to deal with, and I think that he does know that he has options, because this is a card of having a lot of options, right? So with the Chariot, I'm thinking that he's going to be exercising that option by, just staying in a place of where he's determined. That's what Scorpios do. When they figure out, they're good if they're on the right path, which, he is for himself. They're good at digging deep, getting to the truth, and then digging in your heels and sticking to it, because, it's Scorpio is a fixed water sign. So this is him holding on to his convictions. Even though he's tired, even though he's battle weary, he's holding on and he's determined. This is a Cancer card, so that also brings in tenacity. It's like, we're going to keep going, we're going to stick with it, whatever it is. Now, with the Six of Cups here, this is about the past, but this is also about protecting children. So this week he might be trying to find ways to, because of the Sun here, both of these cards were dealing with little children. And I did hear on the news that Pfizer's has a vaccine for the really little ones, So he might be gifting to other countries as well, more, because he has already, but more vaccines, because he's smart enough to know that if we want everyone to be safe, we have to give vaccines to everyone, right? If we want to be safe, other countries have to have vaccines. So with the Sun, this is vitality, this is success. Both of these cards are very successful and have, two major arcanas come through as, they're the gateways. So he's in a determined, successful hold, to try and go the right middle way. And then with the Sun, that's major success, and there's something to celebrate. So he's very optimistic, and he's holding on to life. He's using life to guide him. And then with the Five of Wands, of course he's going to have some struggles. This is a card of major struggle. I always use it as my card, is like to remind myself that my only struggle should be to keep my heart open. But we are human, and life is not easy. It doesn't have to be as hard as we make it, or I should speak for myself. I used to make it. Until this card spoke to me one day and said, your only struggle should be to keep your heart open. So this is very open and vital. But he does have competition and struggles and other people trying to fight their way to the top of his attention. But, he's pretty good as far as I've seen in some of the, conferences, the news conferences where he's taking questions, and he knows how to just, I'm not answering that question. And he was caught on the hot mic calling a guy a stupid son of a bitch. But, this is that kind of energy. It's like battling for his attention, but I think he's going to be successful over that. Yeah, but he is tired. He is tired this next week. I think what would be really helpful is if we send him lots of love and support in order to get this vital energy maximized. But I do like seeing this card here. I would have preferred to have it down here, but this is more realistic to me. You do have to, sometimes you have to just get to the end of where you will stop, in order to take self-responsibility and take a stand, and then make some new choices that are more successful. But back to, hold on, the Six of Cups, I'm wondering, is there anything else here? I feel like this, This is a card, yes, it's back to the past, but it's also about, and of course it's all about children there too, but it's also about healing. So there's some determination for healing and shining his light. And he'll fight, I think he'll always struggle to do that. I know that he believes in a free, open, fair, competitive market. So that might be what this is about here. Yeah. So, okay, well, I feel complete there. Okay, so now let's look at, let me use my little maybe Lenormand. Do I even have the book or the, oh yeah, here it is. The box is nowhere near me, but here's the little book that, in case you like this deck and you want to get it. Although I've colored my cards in, it's only a 4-color deck, so I colored lots of little things in. So if you get this deck and yours doesn't look like mine, that's why. So with this, I want to look into the trucker blockades. I want to look into, you know what, I'm going to have to do things separately. I feel kind of exhausted in looking at Ukraine because it's the same as what I've got in the last 3 weeks where, Putin is just doing his power plays and he's not going to stop. We're dealing with this born psychopath there, with probably a Napoleonic complex as well. But maybe I'll check into that separate. For now, I want to look at the trucker blockades and how it plays into our economy, because of course we're all connected with Canada. Of course. God bless Canada. Big blessings to Canada. So let's look at that. Let's see what I can do. I'll try to go as quickly as I can because I'm already at 40 minutes. I think I'll do, I know I can fit 3. I'll do 27 cards and I'll get 3 threes. And let's look at the trucker blockades and our economy and inflation. Because I'm worried that those trucker blockades are going to be starting up in the USA. But of course, our economy is somewhat tied to Canada, right? Because we're whether we like it or whether other people like it doesn't bother me at all, but whether people like it or not, we are a global economy. We are all connected. So, okay, let me get my bias out of there and just open up to what can we expect this next week or the near future after with our economy, inflation, and especially in relationship to these trucker blockades. Oops. Okay. Bear with me while I draw 27 cards. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, we care about Canada, that's for darn sure. And there's the loyalty amid the shocks. And there we have the movement of, you know, goods across the country. This would be my stand-in card for the, now this has to be Biden because when I do these political readings, well, hold on, I just already read on Biden. Maybe this is Trudeau. I'm going to have to wait and see. No, it's Biden because of this card. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Yeah, Biden's going to be asserting himself there. Okay. But dang it. You know, we've got a homeland card here, and this would be our trucking situation. But hold on, let me just get the cards laid out. Oh, good. So this is Biden working with someone. There might be some kind of an agreement. Well, this would be a law that's already on the books. Does that fit? Yeah. Okay, good. Oh, okay. Okay, this is really interesting over here, but first of all, let's look at these first 3 cards. Well, I'm going to move it into the 4th because I'm going to break a little rule and say the 3 to 4 cards, because this is our trucker card, of course. This is our commerce. This is the movement of goods across the land, whether it's Canada or the USA and the borders in between. You know, like, of course, a lot of this bullshit is coming from Idaho and Montana. Not to put down anyone living in Montana that's watching this, because I'm sure you're holding the light for that state. But, you know, there's a lot of Trump support in those states, too. They're red states. Okay, so that should be a little better with closed captioning. Okay, but there's care. There's care for our economy. Remember, this is, you know, economy. Care for our economy. And there's loyal protection for any shocks that could be trying to, you know what's missing here that I'm glad that's missing? I don't have the mountain card. I mean, it's this deck is 52 cards and I have 27 of them here, so I have, you know, half the deck. And the mountain card, which would be a blockade, does not appear. So there's some breakthrough. There's some shocking breakthrough to this trucking situation. Could be short term, but let's read the 4 corners. So it's helping that social media is out there, but this is public, this is interaction. Literally, this card, it means interaction with people who care. And there's going to be some courageous, this could be a union card. Because this can be like a clan even, which, you know, with the union it would be a, what do you call a, sorry, my elbow's itching. The powerful force, the powerful, you know, voice of control over any battle, any like shocking little, you know, conflict. Okay. Yeah, so there's going to be some people fighting, standing up for any conflict that this could bring to our homeland. And I love that Biden's up here at the top with control over all of this. And then here he is, you know, in agreement. There's some agreement that is. This could be a treaty agreement that, I don't know if there's like some renewal. I don't know why I just heard renewal for this card. But this is his public image and reputation. And what do we have down here? We have assets and money. And it knights up here to our homeland. And even though this is about something short term, I feel like he's working on any short term dangers, and he's making a decision, maybe that about renewing. I keep hearing that again, about renewing something that was an agreement in the past. So this would be, I think would just be an alliance with, well, because here's our clues. Okay, so an alliance with a foreign relation, money, power, protection, food. This is food. But, sorry, I was reading the Four Corners and I got all distracted. Squirrel! I don't know if Danny Shea watches my videos or watches all of them, but I love it when he says, squirrel. Oh, I get distracted too. So anyway, yeah, especially when you're looking at a lot of cards. And that's the way you have to read the Lenormand, because there's a story. They affect each other. So anyway, public interaction with people who care, and I really do feel this is something to do with a Teamsters union. And there's the complications. Now, on another level, it could be that this doesn't have anything to do with Teamsters Union, and these are the idiots that are out there making the problems, making the conflict. And there could be some actions, some legal actions that will complicate the whole situation for them and bite them in the butt the way they need to be. I mean, it's ridiculous. They are, and this is my card for the vaccine, the jab. They are fighting about the vaccine. What an idiot. I mean, these people are just nuts. Like, to hold up food and hold up goods for two countries and whatever passes in between that might go to other countries, it's just ridiculous. It's absurd. And that's further reiterated down here with the ship card. So this conflict to foreign relations, Biden's on it, because again, he's up at the top. He has control over this. And there's a problem for these truckers who are making a power play, and they're actually praying. This is a predator card. He used to get it for Trump all the time. It's a predator card where they're preying on people because they're what? Just greedy? Needing attention? Now, this is also a Leo card, so of course we have the Leo full moon coming in this week, and it's at 27 degrees Leo. So that's a ripe degree, right? It just goes 0 to 29. And then from there, with the Leo full moon, what is it? It's 8, if I can remember right. No, hold on, do I have? Yeah, hold on. It's 8:56 a.m., I think. Hold on. I do this weekly for my my members. Here we go. 27 degrees Leo. It's squaring both the north and south nodes. North and south nodes. We're talking goods and money, and then problems with. We're also talking possible like sex scandals with this nodal thing that's happening for the next year and a half. But there's also this square to the nodes with the sun. We've got a grand square here going on with air and fire. That speaks to this. And it also speaks to whatever Biden can do to negotiate something. Because the money is going, he has control over the assets that are going this direction or spilling out into a way that we can celebrate. This could even be like wine that gets shipped around, But also, not only that, I'm not reading this as Trump's 45 card because he doesn't have anything to do with this. This would be his ability to caretake, his decisions to take care of, if it comes over. So it's possible that some of our people from the USA who have gone to Canada and caused this problem, that would not surprise me at all. He's going to be taking care of that. Yeah. Okay. So here's how we also there's talks, communications to make a decision, and coming together, joining forces. I would have to say with Justin Trudeau and any other. Here, I mean, literally, we're talking about the shipment of goods, resources. He's going to be taking care of it. Biden's in on it. He's in on taking care of it. He's in on the solution. I like that. Caretaking of the shocking situation, and I mean, who knows about like how many vaccines might be in those trucks that are being held up, right? So he has to do something about it, and he's tipping his hat towards our homeland here. Like that's his. No wonder he's exhausted, right? My goodness. Okay, so without taking too much more time, what's the best way to focus in here? Because he showed up, I have to speak to how he's going to keep working to keep the flow going, to, outward into, the Garden Park card to me is my interaction card, it's my social media card, it's my networking card, and so he's going to work to keep those connections, the flow of those connections going, and he's going to try to minimize any like seduction away from that these truckers might be trying to do. Again, the important thing here is to remember that I did not get the mountain card, which would show an obstacle. So I think that these blockades are going to be removed and cleared out. Right? Notice how Biden's up here, he knights to this clearing and cutting and making a sharp decision, and then he knights here to the book card, which would be throwing the book at because of laws. So we're talking in Canada. What did you guys tell me that was? Besides the Moving Vehicle Act, which in America it would be like a DMV type of a violation. But you guys also had something else. It was called the CCC, and I can't remember what it stood for. Or CCA, I can't remember. But anyway, that's the law here in this situation, because you always have to read the context of the question. I don't see this as secrets, I see this as law. And yeah, they've had some control in the past, but they're in violation. This is a violation of the law. And then this baseline down here shows some strength, but then all these complications. But Biden he's going to be, because I can read this on different layers, right, or on different levels, different layers. He's going to be showing his strength because he cares. So I don't think I need to speak anything more about that. It just has to do with the complications to our networking and connections. He's going to be negotiating and talking. Yeah. Yeah, and I think I covered that. Okay, so this feels complete. Was there anything else for this? You know what? Let's just look quickly. Let me look quickly at Ukraine. How's this? Let's use this Russian deck, this Golden Dreams. Golden Dreams by Taroko Studio, if you like it. You have to go to their website. here. Right there. I think. I actually found it on Amazon, but it was years ago, and I think you have to go to their website nowadays. All right. What will we hear this week? So from about the 13th to the 19th, what will be happening with this crisis that Putin has created. This is all Putin. How's this going to go for... I think I'll look at it from the angle of Ukraine. How's this going to go for Ukraine? Okay. And I'll just do 10 cards. I'll read it really quickly. 3, 4, 5. And 10. Okay. Okay, there's some wisdom coming through there. Oh, actually, I've got plenty of room. The burden with the foreign relations, with the burden of foreign relations. Yeah, I don't know how they get into NATO. You guys, I still haven't stopped to research that, but they need to get into NATO. It could have something to do with the EU as well. Maybe they have to be cleared. Can that happen? They need to get over that threshold. And then there's a flow. Okay, what else? Magic lamp. They're wishing to stop the hidden enemies. This could also be whatever's coming over the mountain. And in this deck, I have to go with the image. We've got the water, so whatever's coming across the sea, that's the burden that they're going to have to block. Surprising gift. And then the tower is nothing like the tower in the tarot. And the Lenormand, this is everything to do with the institution of their government. And then with the dog, there's some loyal protection. So loyal protection from foreigners. They're hoping, they're wishing, they're holding out for foreign protection. So I guess that's us. And I think Biden's saying, we're not going to be sending any people over there to fight any wars for anyone else. But the protection, the money, there's other things that he has sent in order to protect. The fish has to do with an abundance of protection. I like seeing that. So how is this going to go for Ukraine? Is they're wise enough to see that there's an abundance of protection. There's a lot of protection. They have to stop just wishing for something, and they need to work with other countries. So besides us, it's, the EU. They really need that. They need to get into NATO as soon as they can. Otherwise, I don't know why they haven't in the past. But that's that archway, that threshold to get to the abundance of protection. It's like a holding pattern, you guys. I feel like it's a holding pattern for this next week. Yeah. But, let's see. With the bouquet is a gift. There's a gift. There's recovery. There could be an offer. There could be a lot of surprise offers that are very wise for them. That has to do with protecting their sovereignty. Protecting... besides their sovereignty, what could this be? Well, allies. So allies here, hidden enemies here. This could be that they're blocking. They're able to block, but the foreign issues are up here. But these cards are, these cards are good. There's only the only two negative cards. Well, these are pretty neutral. The only two negative cards are here. But this card can be about having faith. But they can, this is the burden. This is their self-responsibility. This is their cross to bear. And I think they're probably really tired of being in a battle situation, because they have been for the last 8 years. It's like holding back, holding the borders, this has everything to do with borders, and as well as the little tower card here. Although in this deck it's a big tower, isn't it? Yeah, boundaries, protecting their boundaries. So this week they will be, there will be a lot of protection to their boundaries. They're wishing and hoping for more from other foreign lands, of course, like ours. But they are wisely holding that boundary. Okay. All right, that feels complete. Okay. Thanks, you guys. High five if you made it to the end. Okay. Take good care as always, and happy Valentine's Day. Happy full moon. Just sending you lots of love. Okay. Bye.